Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I know we've been quiet for a bit, but again, we're battling to get content out on time, and also with there's been a flu going around in South Africa, and it's taken away like 3 weeks of our time for that. Sorry, I'm just putting this on mute. Okay, so in today's episode, right, I'm gonna be telling you a little bit more about a vehicle that's coming. So two things that we want to accomplish from this video and the other videos on this car, right, is the main focus is knowing what you are buying. So I've had a video we've done a while back on how to identify a 325 IS. This customer here contacted me about 2 months ago or so, and we've been chatting over WhatsApp, and he wanted me to basically give him a quotation on a car that was an APV 325 IS. So for those that don't understand, for the guys that are not in South Africa, APV is basically a stolen and recovered vehicle. So what happens is a vehicle gets stolen in South Africa, uh, it gets found, and then it gets taken to an impound yard or compound. And in order to now identify those vehicles, it doesn't get put back into a system. It gets put onto the South African police system, if I can call it that. And then it's given APV numbers. So your original 0086, your OAFs, your OEJ numbers come off. The tag comes off on the vehicle because now it gets a new stamp, a new ID, which is an APV ID. So in the 90s, if I'm not mistaken, there wasn't APV numbers. It was called chassis numbers. So I've actually got one car here that's got chassis, but they are stolen and recovered in the 90s. APVs are stolen and recovered from the 2000s upwards. That's what I understand. I can be wrong, but that's from my knowledge. So a customer phones me, says, Sanjay, I bought the IS. I bought it without seeing it. It's an APV car, so I don't want to spend too much money on it, but he also wants to keep it. It's a car that he bought to keep. So we didn't get into too much of detail onto it. Anyway, I battled to get out to him, and he says, okay, Sanjay, I'm based in Durban. The guy is still in Johannesburg. It's at the place where he bought the vehicle. I said, listen, the best way for me to have a look at this guy and to assess it is obviously get the car picked up, brought here, let me put it on the lifts and check it. Anyway, car gets picked up, gets brought to the shop here. The first thing I noticed is, yes, it is an APV car, but the APV numbers are sitting on the driver's side, and as to it being on the shock mount on the left-hand side. So it's the first time I've seen numbers being stamped on the right-hand side of the vehicle. Okay, that is one concern. And number two, okay, the tag is off the vehicle. Number three, the original VIN number is still on the car. So as you guys seen in my previous video with regards to how to identify a 325 IS, you get your shadow lines, your pre-phase shadow lines, which is your chrome bumper cars. They are, I think it's 87 models, 87, 88 models, and they came out with the 0086 VIN. There are others that came out with other VINs, but from my knowledge, it's 0086. There is a 0087, I'm not too sure what that is. Then your facelifts, your plastic bumper cars started off with a 0086 as well. So you got a 0086 in a shadow line, and then you've moved over to your OAF, which also fell under shadow lines. So you'll find a lot of cars that's running around at this point in time with an OAF VIN, and everybody mistakes it and thinks that they've got an IS. But it still carried on with shadow line at that point, and then the evolution series started, as far as I know. Then, so you still had OAF with a certain number at the end, and that was now your Evo 1s. Your Evo 2s were your OEJs and HP2s. This car's VIN number is starts with OAB. And if you look at OAB, if you try and do some research and you look it up, OAB is actually a 318 VIN. So when we start putting two and two together now, remember, this customer wasn't sold a shadow light. He was sold a 325 IS. So I had to phone the customer now firstly, but he told me about it. He told me, he says, Sanjay, I checked the VIN out. I've been sold It was sold to me as a 325 IS with APV number. So meaning that you won't be able to see the OAF, stuff like that. It's very hard to identify. You've actually got to go into the history and track back on the vehicle. And it's, some guys get it right, some guys don't even get it right. So it's, when you start buying an APV car as an IS, you start getting thrown off because you don't actually know what you're buying. You can actually score and buy an Evo 2, or you can lose drastically and buy a car that was built. In this case, we were lucky to find the original VIN number one. So the customer actually phones and he tells me, he says, Sanjay, but when we check this car, the OAB falls under 318 VIN. And I said, I know an OAB to be under 318. So 318 actually come out some funny ones. OAG, I've seen an OAG, OAB. The MEXs also came out funny ones and that. So bottom line is, this car is actually a 318 body with a 325 motor, but that was sold to the customer as a 325 IS. So guys, I'm going to take you guys through this here, right? I'm not going to put the car up now because with the car up, I'm just going to show you the drama that he found. So when we start stripping the vehicle, I'll get into that with you and then I'll start showing you the loopholes on it. But bottom line is, so he went bidding on a vehicle being sold as a 325 IS with APV numbers. The man paid over 500,000 rand for this vehicle, and now he cannot get his money back. There's a court case going, and he cannot get his money back from this. I'm not gonna disclose where it was bought from. It wasn't bought from an individual. It was bought from a institute. So my message in this video, right before we carry on and before I take you guys through the vehicle, is, guys, please do your research when buying E30s in South Africa, when buying 325 ISs, when buying 333s, shadow lines, whatever you are buying, do your research. Do not just take for granted that somebody says this is what the car, what an IS has, because if you look at all the comments running on social medias and I see what people are talking about and what they say, it's actually hilarious. And I understand if people don't have the knowledge on it, but don't make as if you know what it is and it's cast in stone. And because by trying to act like a big man and running your mouth, someone else takes it as if this is, you know exactly what you are talking about, and they go and buy on that, and they lose money. So please see what you guys do, research first, and don't buy blind. If you're not able to get to the place, if you're buying from another province and you need to buy the car in Joburg, for example, you need to get somebody out to go and view the cars, to go and see the cars. Buying a car that needs a lot of work is one thing, but buying a car that is not a pedigree vehicle, you're gonna lose. And I'm seeing this here on a daily basis, and this is the reason why I'm actually doing this video. Enough of that now. Let's go through the car, right? But guys, I can't emphasize on this here. Know what you guys are buying. Know what you guys are buying. Know what you're getting into. If it's an auction vehicle and they don't want to see, they don't want you to see the vehicles up close, then it means that something has been hidden, right? You must be able, if you're buying these cars here, you must be able to go and inspect those cars and see what you are getting yourself into. So let's go through the vehicle quickly. Okay, so before we go through the vehicle, right? Your bonnet doesn't even open. It opens, it doesn't even hold up. Paying over 500,000 rand for a car, and your bonnet doesn't even open up. I mean, doesn't even hold up. Okay, let's get back into this, right? So now we've had to say, okay, we can't do a full restoration on the car because the car's a 318 body, right? We don't know the history behind this car is a very big unknown part of it. So now the customer has lost money. He can't get his money out of it. He's left with the car, right? What do we do from here going further? How do we better this here? How do we better the situation that is in, or just make the most of the situation that is in? So we came up with an idea and we said, okay, fine. I don't know if this is diamond black. I don't know what the car was, but we're building this car up not to spec. We're building it up so now we can actually, so that the customer can actually revive something out of this vehicle, right? Out of this whole ordeal. So what I suggested is, motor starts up, it sounds decent. It sounds like it needs some, like a tune-up or whatever it is. It sounds decent. The wiring is an abortion on this car. I don't know what we're going to get ourselves into. It looks like it's running on an airflow. So it means that the original ECU is there, right? But it's got a set of branches on. It's got a 2.5 motor. It's got a 2.5 block in there. Gearbox has got a 318 gearbox in there. We don't know what stuff it's got. It's got Ricardo interiors that need to be recovered. So there's a whole lot of work to be spent on it, but we don't have an open budget, and we can't have an open budget because then the customer will go deeper into loss. So what we can rather do is, let's get this car back to, I won't say a drivable. Bonnet is actually standing. Not a drivable. We want to get it back to how he can enjoy the vehicle, right? And just come out of this ordeal and say, you know what, it was a crappy situation, but I managed to get the best out of it. So we're gonna keep a diamond black. It's got 540 wheels on there, right? We're gonna see what we're gonna do with the wheel laser. I haven't confirmed with him. The front spoiler is fiberglass. There's something happening on the door cards, right? I'll take them off and we're gonna inspect them up. But if we're seeing drama there, we're definitely gonna see drama everywhere else. Drama is gonna be hidden. Those we're gonna find gremlins in this car. So let's rather expect the gremlins and not be surprised when we do find them. So we're going to take the kit off, inspect it properly. I can see that it is plastic butts. I just can't see if they ABS butts. But if I look at the length of the kit here, and if I look at all the... No, but that still looks like an original piece here. But if I look at the length is short. So I still got a question there. So I'll take it off, inspect it properly. So we're going to do a strap down of the vehicle. We're not only going to just do a strap down on the beadings on the car and just to get to the paintwork, right? Because I'll get to the drivetrain and suspension now. Well, let me actually tackle it now. So when we put the car up on the lift, we started going through the undercarriage. The undercarriage of the car doesn't look too bad. There is a couple of rust spots here, but I don't know. The rubber riser looks fresh on this. So it looks like it's been redone somehow. I don't know if it's been covered up. I don't know if there's a plate in there. It's an unknown as yet. So what we've decided to do is, let's take the drivetrain out, put it onto a jig, because there's silicone bushes on the diff carrier at the back. There's polyurethanes that's half the size on the trailing arm bushes. The front bushes are, I can't remember on the front bushes, but there's leaks all over the show. The steering rack is leaking. We know the gearbox is wrong. So we're going to get into a lot of mechanical work on the drivetrain. So the best option is, let us strap the car out, get it onto the jig, get the drivetrain onto the jig, remove the shell, get the shell onto its trolley. Then we can start tackling the bodywork and we can start working on the mechanical side of things. But I'm going to get to that and I'm going to put that in one video for you guys. I'm not going to show you guys snippets of it. This is just an introduction of the VIN number issue and what not to buy and what we are going to do on the vehicle, right? And then the next episode is going to be of work carried on in between and the end video. So we're going to keep it black. Once the car is off its drivetrain and onto the shell, onto a trolley, we're then going to go up now and start stripping all the plastic butts off it. And we are actually going to do a metal strip down on it. So we're not going to send the car for blasting. We're not going to, remember, we got a budget here. So we're not going to strip the cabin down to a point to bare metal and send the car for blasting and start off from scratch. We don't have that budget for it. However, we're going to get the exterior down to metal. Right? So we're going to see what is hidden under here first, number one. Repair that and get the body looking to such a point where it looks like the red car, the red shadow line that we finished up. Then we're going to get into the interior side. The seats have to get done. We're going to try and salvage a car, but the backboard has got 6x9s. We'll go through the car now. And we're going to try and salvage what we can with it. So, repaint the car, but we're going to do a metal strip on it. We're going to use an expensive paint on it because we want to try and salvage the car and we want it to look classy. It's got full suspension on it, so we don't know what mag we're going to use. We might keep the 540 wheel. We're not trying to portray that we're building an IS here. We're just trying to salvage a shitty deal. That's exactly what it is. Drivetrain, we're still going to go with it. Before I strip it out, I'll actually take the car around the block, but I don't feel very comfortable driving the car with the suspension the way it is. I don't know what can break, what is broken that we can't see. Go through the motor, change the gearbox, get back to a 325 gearbox, get the link sorted out, get the property balance. We're going to redo full suspension on the car. So we're going to redo bushes, trailing arm bushes. We're going to go through the braking system, front and back, go through the wheel bearings. Because I guarantee you, if we're seeing those things that are visible to us now, if they weren't done properly, what about the stuff that we can't see? So we're going to go through all of that, get the body done. Look, the body doesn't look too bad, but if it was a 318, It's very hard to see. It might be a 3 to 5 because there's telltale signs of. Let me take the camera off. Sorry, I took the camera off the tripod now. Let's go through the vehicle. So we've got 540 wheels on there, right? You can see how the kit is sitting. You can have a look here. There's Sikaflex's duct tape, but that's we've made peace with it. We're gonna find all of these things. The front bumper, the front spoiler is fiberglass, so we need to source a proper plastic setup for it, right? But the telltale signs I was talking about now are these headlight adjusters. These are pipes for headlight adjusters. So the 318s didn't come with that. The 318s didn't come with, okay, some of them did come with air cons, but it's confusing. So you can't really, I'm not going to really show you the APV number, but this here is where the APV number is now. So you never find it stamped on the right hand side of the tower. You'll always find it on the left hand side tower. The tag is off the car, but that's off as per the APV. It's not taken off because the owner took it off, right? The bonnet, the paintwork is shitty. It's pure crap. You can't see it on video. It's crappy. It looks like someone came. I think you're gonna see the marks here. Yeah, there. The paintwork is really crappy on the car. Then I don't know what is going on the tower here, and I don't know what we're gonna find, but I can see that there is a build-up on the tower here. So hence me saying I want to take this car back down to metal. So we're gonna take the body, the exterior of the body, down to metal. We're gonna take the engine bay down to metal. I'm gonna see what I can find in the booth. If I don't have any telltale signs of anything bad in the booth, then I'm gonna leave the booth. But we'll clean it up and have it repainted in there. But all the bearings are gonna come off. The bearings look salvageable. We can get that sorted out. There's no major dents on it, so that's one plus sign. The sunroof area, and you'll see all the scratches, and this is not scratches. This is a shitty paint job. This is what you see, or what you guys don't see when you're buying. You'll actually see the old paint underneath here. So remember, you go out and you buy a car at an auction. You're seeing photos of it, you're listening to the auctioneer running his mouth. See, they're there to make money. They're not there to sell you the best of best. Guys, see what you are buying. Okay, there's something happening on the floor here, right? You can see how this mat is actually folded. So this is what I'm talking about. And you'll actually see there's a hump over here. Let me see if I can get my flashlight on here. Ah, I can. So there's actually a bit of a hump in the floor. But if you look at the floorboard underneath, it looks straight. So now that's telling me that there's a plate underneath and they've covered up this rust issue here, and the guy has been knocked on the side here. Anyway, we won't be here if we didn't find cars like this. So that's the reason why we're gonna get everything out. I'm gonna take the carpet out because it needs to be cleaned properly, and we'll get the carpet onto a jig first. Let the car get checked. Let's do a point check on it to make sure that the car is straight firstly. I think we'll do that before we start stripping down. Then we're going to start hunting down for a set of door cuts, because whoever covered these guys before need a smack. Same thing done there, same thing done at the back. Right, the roof liner, let's see, roof liner is still original roof liner, so we'll try and salvage that there. The seats, Uncle Wesley, you're going to have to come in for me, and we're going to have to do seats, and then we're going to go through the electrical process on the vehicle. But it's a 325. Ah, yes. Don't think you see the badge that you're going to buy yourself an IS. So you can see a plate in here already. You can see there's a hole through the center there. There's a plate in here, so this has to be cleaned up first, and we're going to see what's going to happen under the battery as well. And I am here. Let me take this terminal off. So let's see if I can show you this on the paint here. You can see this is how the paint looks on the car. So I know there's dust here, but look at under there. There's a whole lot of marks in this vehicle. So we'll get all of this here sorted out, right? You'll see this roof is horrible, man. Look there. I think I'm getting the angle right there now. The roof is horrible. So again, guys, we're not doing a full restoration on this vehicle. We're gonna salvage what we can, and maybe is the panel getting caught on the fender. Let's salvage what we can on this car, and let's see if we can get the customer to smile again. Let's see if we can get this customer to smile again, and let's see. Let's just get the car done. Right? Let's just get the car done. It's a lot of work, but like I said, we won't be here if we didn't find cars like this. Anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think. So please drop a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are on the situation. I hope I don't find any more of the viewers in situations like this. I hope you guys learn from it and learn from what I'm trying to, just the knowledge that I'm trying to push out. Like I said, it's not cast in stone knowledge. It's not, I'm not portraying that I know everything about these cars. I've said before in videos that we learn together. But I've got more cars here than a lot of people have seen. I've got a lot more ISs here than a lot of people have seen in their lifetime. So use my knowledge, use my experiences, buy right. Just don't get caught. Don't get caught. Guys, let me know what you guys think. Right? Like, subscribe, share. I appreciate you guys. But most importantly, drop a comment. Tell me what you think. Maybe you guys got better ideas on what we need to do with this video. To do with this car. What color should we keep it? What drum should we put on it? Remember, it's full suspension on there. We know what we're going to do with the interior. Maybe you guys try and advise the customer via comments on how do we salvage the vehicle. Right? So let me know what you guys think and keep on doing what you guys do. Cheers, guys. Enjoy.